We are located at 220 Main Street in Falmouth. We provide group counseling, individual counseling, and advocacy for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. And they can either be men, women, or children, or all of the above. Oftentimes we work with the hospital, with the Falmouth Hospital, Falmouth Police Department, a lot of times for sexual assault cases. We also work with a lot of the human service agencies in Falmouth, Falmouth Human Services, the Falmouth Service Center. If someone walks into any one of our offices, we would do our best to accommodate them and try to get a counselor to complete an intake with them. And then from there, they would be assigned a counselor. We also have a liaison from the Falmouth Police Department. Her name is Carmen Espinoza. She is a counselor here at Independence House, and she is our liaison to the Falmouth Police Department, and she also works for the Falmouth Police Department as well as Independence House.
One of the benefits of having an advocate in a police department is it allows victims to come in and talk with somebody who can get information about how a case would be handled if they were to call the police. Unfortunately, many victims do not want to call the police because it interferes with the jobs, with income, paying the insurance for their children. Because if an abuser gets arrested, he could very well lose his job. But what we found was people spread the words. Women talk in the town and will tell their friend who's going through something like that, call Carmen over at the police department. She's not a cop. She's not going to arrest your husband, your boyfriend. She's going to help you. It's just a comforting thing to know they can go in there, be safe, and talk to somebody and not have to follow through with charges.
How it really works is the police officers will be dispatched, for instance, to a domestic violence call, and they'll take the report, maybe make an arrest, depending on the circumstances, and then Carmen will follow up with that victim of the domestic violence incident to reach out to assure them that there are services available, that the court system doesn't necessarily have to be as scary and intimidating as they may think it is. Carmen also provides a resource here to our police officers. With her specialized training, police officers can approach Carmen and ask for assistance in how to best deal with a domestic violence case that they may have been presented with.
One of the biggest parts of my job is to maintain that training to all incoming new staff that comes in there. Just to refresh their memory on their training they had in the academy about domestic violence, but also to let them know there's, a lot of different ways to handle a domestic violence call that does not involve upsetting a victim. The police do not have the time to follow up on every domestic. Some of those follow-ups will take 3 or 4 calls. It can go on for weeks, sometimes months, involving court, and they need support during that. And that's the main purpose of getting advocates in police departments, so we can shift that responsibility to somebody who is dedicated to just that job. What we found in the 10 years I've been in Falmouth is our complaints from domestic violence victims has dropped to near zero.
So we also have a 24-hour hotline, and that is a number that people can call if they feel that they are in trouble and they need assistance, or if they just need someone to speak to. What we do is we provide, if someone calls the hotline, we provide brief counseling services, and we do try to get them in for an intake to speak with a counselor.